When I came here, 2007, came to visit, I looked around, I saw Kenya, I saw Ghana, I saw all other countries, and I looked at the product. I looked at my product that I'm doing myself. So I said to my partners, we must go and show our case. We must increase our production as well as our sales. So we went back. We did this, increased the outgrower scheme, increased our own farms, and then now that we have enough, we said to come here and show our case.
I think there is an advantage working with small-scale farmers. They have farms all over the countryside, and where it might be raining in one area, another farmer might have better weather conditions, so he can fill that gap in the market, and it's not all your eggs in one basket.
Oranges wholesale market. It's the largest fresh products market around the world. We trade more than 1 million tons fruit and vegetable each year, out of which a significant part is coming out of Africa.
Nous connaissons maintenant le marché des Pays-Bas, la Hollande. Nous connaissons le marché ici en Allemagne. Nous connaissons maintenant le marché belge. Nous avons des expériences avec la Grande-Bretagne, donc nous essayons de diversifier. On ne va pas mettre tous les œufs dans le même panier. Voilà notre objectif et c'est ce que nous sommes en train de réaliser.
Nous avons beaucoup d'opportunités et de possibilités sur ce marché-là, sur cette foire. Nous avons des opportunités parce que le Mali est déjà connu au fait pour ses produits. Et de plus en plus, nous renforçons. Et sur ce marché, sur cette foire, nous avons reçu beaucoup d'opportunités d'affaires.
We've seen more growing, more production, more exporting from North Africa, other East African countries, parts of Southern Africa, and I think it's a trend that's going to continue.
The question of organics and fair trade is very important, and it's a growing market in Europe and particularly in the UK. It's a great opportunity for small growers to have an extra option there which can be more lucrative to them.
Carbon footprint issues are becoming an issue for consumers. They're starting to look at it and say, well, do we want to buy something that's been sea freighted or air freighted? Because obviously with air freight there's more carbon produced. So it's becoming more and more important for people to look for solutions to ship by sea.
So one issue is coming up now, social responsibility. Worker health and safety traditionally has been part of global GAP. That's very important in many African countries as well. But also issues of fair labor and labor conditions.
The market is mainly looking for two things. One is a continuous supply and the other one is a technical excellence. So being able to assure the market that you will consistently produce the same quality of product, that's very important.
It's very important that small farmers cooperate and get united in a larger cooperation. This is very important for our market, as the scale of retailers is getting bigger and bigger and the volumes have to be adapted to that.
The success factors are very simple. You must have a regular production in quality and volume. You must have local infrastructure adapted to those production. That's processing units, cold chain, logistics, a local political regime who assumes economic success. And there must be a very close cooperation between producers and importers, because usually importers bring some hints about quality, type of products they want, they give advice, they bring support.
There's three golden rules for entering the European market. I think they would be in this order. One, you must understand the market and how the market operates and who the key contacts are to deal with. Two, there has to be a level of technical expertise, so compliance with Europe GAP, Global GAP, BRC and these sorts of crop protocols. And three, you've got to be very, very good and you've got to have a long-term perspective of what you're trying to achieve.
You need an integral quality management system in place that can be managed by larger organisations that will help benefit the small-scale grower and give them access to the market.
It's a first stepstone for the global GAP, and so you develop small-scale farmers and other producers to supply to a national market, and then you take just the next step for the good ones to promote and then participate newly in a growing international market.
of the key success factors in determining who's going to be successful in the long term will be which growers, which organisations, which supply chains can be the most innovative. There's a huge amount of innovation taking place in the sector.
Some of the African countries that I've seen, infrastructure can play a large part of it because it's fresh product, so cold chain management, all these things are very important.
The government can provide logistical facilities, new roads and custom facilities in the ports, in the seaports as well in the airports.
It's important for the government to cooperate in identifying smallholders because the farmers need someone they can trust to know that it's genuine business people who have a long-term interest of the farmers.
It's very important to have an agricultural friendly government to be able to make things easier in your area of production. Then in terms of building up small-scale farmers, donor funding is really helping a lot of guys as well.
To do it on your own is very difficult. That's why many of the successful horticultural exporting or countries around the world, they have quite large cooperatives to do it for them. Big customers in Europe need quite big suppliers. It doesn't mean the small farmer can't do it, but they can't do it on their own. They need to work with others to give them the critical mass.
It's very important for the government to work together with the private sector to facilitate the entry of the private sector into the smallholder areas.
What the government needs to do to launch a project or to make a project successful is to create an environment where it is profitable for the private sector to bring in funds and see a return on their investments.
At the moment, the importers, the retailers in Europe, they can buy from wherever they want to, really. They will probably give encouragement in Tanzania, but they don't see it as their job. The drive to change has to come from within Tanzania, and if the Tanzanian industry doesn't recognise that themselves, they might be waiting a long time to access the market. Importers will be encouraging, supportive, they'll give technical help, commercial help. End user customers can also be supportive and encouraging, but the drive to change has to come from within Tanzania.